it's really my story. And when, like I said, when you learn how to remove that fear, to remove any guilt or shame that come with, oh, I'm not the traditional student. When you learn how to remove that and understand your purpose, telling your story is no longer about you. And that's what I think I mastered, is that everything that happens in my life is not about me. It's literally for somebody else. I lived through it. I made it through it so that I'll be able to give somebody else the tips to get through it. And that's just really my entire life. It is. Hi, I'm Mijiza Green. I am an employee here at Harford County Public Schools. I work for Magnolia Middle School. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I moved here about 21 years ago. And I like the environment. I like the communication. I don't think at that time I ever really saw myself working in here. That's the funny part. But what happened was, eventually in 2012, I had a vision to start a mentor program. And so I started to volunteer here at Magnolia Middle School. I'm thankful for the principal who gave me an opportunity. And from there, I really started to see the need of the presence in the school, the relationships that I was building. And that really made me happy and wanted to kind of get in a little bit more. So ultimately, I decided to go to Morgan State University and pursue my psychology degree. And that started off as the excitement of going back to school as an adult, as an older adult. So I definitely was not a traditional student. But soon as I started Morgan State University, I ended up losing my mother-in-law, who lived at home with me and my husband. And that happened, and that was pretty devastating hit for my family. And I had just started my first semester back after, years of being out of school. And so it was quite challenging for me to continue, but I pushed on and said, I have to do this. And in the process of that, we ended up having a pandemic. The schools closed the next 2 weeks after her passing. But I'm still in school, and I just refuse to stop, and I'm going to push through. Right after that, the next month, I lost my dad to COVID, and that was a blow to my entire family. Again, exactly 2 months after I lost my mother-in-law. And though I was very devastated and all of the above, I remembered that this is something that he wanted me to do. Ever since I had started Treasure Jewels, he used to always call me the psychologist. My dad was a go-getter, an entrepreneur at heart, worked hard. So he always inspired me to do what my heart felt. He always inspired me to go after my dreams. So knowing that's what he wanted me to do, I knew that even in his absence and his death, that I had every bit of his blood running through my veins, and that I was able to push through and become the psychologist that he wanted me to be. Though I had to deal with funerals and grief ultimately throughout this pandemic as well, I knew I had to keep going somehow, and I did. And that became my motivation to not give up, no matter how hard the times were, that I was going to use my perseverance and my resilience to push forward, and that I was going to make sure that the children that were around me, or anyone who was around me, was going to see that we got this, that I'm going to get through this, because this is my motivation. And from there, I understood my purpose, and it was for me to finish school. So that was the beginning of my journey at Morgan State, but it pushed me the next 3 semesters to finish before the time that they had allotted. I wasn't supposed to actually graduate until May 2022, but in between, understanding what I had to do, not only for my career here at the school system, but also for my family, it pushed me to take extra classes to make sure I was practicing self-care, and building a legacy for my family at the same time. So Morgan State, I'm very grateful for Morgan State and for Harford County Public Schools, because that whole entire team, along with my family, is what got me through. If I had anything to say to anyone, it would be the best version of you. Don't let anyone cast their fears on you, allow you to believe that you can accomplish those dreams. Just know that you have all the energy and everything you need to push through. So I just say, reach for the stars, because they are there, out there waiting for you to grab them. And just remember that you got this.